أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. وبعد, Tuesday after Maghrib we talk about the companions of the Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام. We learn from them how to become steadfast on the religion, strong in the way of Allah Azza wa Jal. We learn from them everything we need in our religion, our daily life, the sacrifice, the love for this religion. We will learn about how they became patient with the Prophet ﷺ with this message of Allah Azza wa Jal. And we talked about Al-Ashara al-Mubashirin bil-Jannah, the 10 companions who got the glad tidings from the Prophet ﷺ that they're in Jannah. Today we talk about one of the companions of the Prophet ﷺ who sacrificed a lot, and his name is Mus'ab ibn Umair. Mus'ab ibn Umair ibn Hashim ibn Abd Manaf, a great companion of the Prophet. Remember this name very well, Mus'ab ibn Umair. هذا الشاب المدلل المترف كان يعيش في رغد من العيش في مكة. He was one of the richest people of Mecca. Fancy house, fancy life, joyful life. Everything was amazing. Rich, the money, the respect, the position in the community, in the society. And once he became a Muslim, everything changed. Everything changed, became like poor person, miserable, and so on and so forth, because of the punishment he used to receive from the non-believers of Mecca, even from his family, who used to give him the best things, the money and the property, and to make him, happy and joyful in life. They became the same ones who were torturing him. And he did not think about this life, because he tasted Islam. If the person tastes Islam, he cannot sacrifice with Islam, even if that thing is the best thing in life from the point of view of people, from the sides of people. Islam is the top thing, it's the first thing I think about it. Anything else comes after Islam. Even if the whole dunya doesn't come, I don't care about this. This is Mus'ab ibn Umair. Mus'ab ibn Umair يقول خباب بن الأرت رحمه الله ورضي الله عنه. يقول خباب بن الأرت رضي الله عنه هاجرنا مع النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام فمنا من وقع أجره على الله. We migrated with Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام. And by the way, Mus'ab ibn Umair, he got the two migrations. The migration to Habasha, the Abyssinia, and the other migration to Al-Madinah. So he's one of the early Muslims who accepted Islam. He had to travel. He had to leave his land. He had to leave the beautiful things he used to love because of the religion. And he left everything behind him because of the religion. Today, we travel for the sake of living the religion. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. That first thing people sacrifice with when they come, to non-Muslim countries, or when they leave their lands, their homes, they sacrifice with the religion. Where is salah in life? Where is raising the kids in life? After you collect money, where is your zakah? And some of them, they do not know anything about fast in the month of Ramadan. And she took off her hijab because she came in a non-Muslim country. And I told her sister, this is hijab, but she says, I wear, I cover my body, so people are not gonna look at me. They see naked women at the street. So what are they gonna do with me? So that's nothing. So that's your logic. That's your mind. Shar' is shar'. Deen is deen. In America is deen. In Egypt is deen. In Jordan is deen. In Afghanistan it's deen. Any place in the world, the deen is one. Quran is one. Sunnah is one. It doesn't change. Nothing changed and that's the beauty of Islam. That you don't have different laws of Islam because of the territories and the places, the areas around the world. It is the same thing. Same salah, same reading, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. And this is the greatestness of Islam. So Mus'ab ibn Umair, he tasted that beauty of Islam, and he left his home and he went to Abyssinia. He came back and then they tortured him. He had to leave to Medina. But this time, he wasn't one of the early people who went to Medina. We will come to this point. So Khabbab ibn al-Arat says, هاجرنا مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فمنا من وقع أجره على الله. Some of us, they got the whole ajr from Allah. They don't get anything, they did not get anything from the dunya. ومنا قال منهم مصعب بن عمير. One of them is Mus'ab ibn Umair. ومنا من أينعت له ثمرته في الدنيا فهو يهدبها. يعني, and some of us lived after people became Muslims, lands and cities became Muslims, and Arabia became Muslim, and now we get the reward also from dunya throughout the spoils, throughout business, trading, all of this became safe. So Khabbab is crying for these moments, and he says that I'm one of them, those people who lived. Khabbab, he's talking about himself as if he didn't see or didn't face anything. خباب كانوا يشفونه على النار فيتساقط جلده. His skin used to drop, to fall, because they used to burn him on fire in Mecca. And he says, فمنا من وقع أجره على الله. I'm not one of those who got the whole ajr from Allah. I lived after Mus'ab ibn Umair. I enjoyed the dunya a little bit. That's Khabbab. Allahu Akbar. And Mus'ab ibn Umair, he said, he got the whole ajr inshallah from Allah because he died in the battle of Uhud. قتل في غزوة أحد. مصعب بن عمير. قال فما وجدنا له يرحمكم الله إلا بردة نغطيه بها. We found the whole property of Mus'ab ibn Umair, burda. البردة, the cover that you have it over your clothes. It's not something tall. So we just have it over the clothes like the jacket, but it's a bit longer. What do you call it? Bisht, like the bisht, something like this. قال فما وجدنا له إلا بردة إذا غطينا بها رأسه انكشفت رجلاه وإذا غطينا بها رجليه انكشف رأسه. Whenever we come to cover him, we cover his head, so his feet is uncovered. If we cover his feet, so his head is uncovered. Allahu Akbar. That's Mus'ab. That's Mus'ab ibn Umair, the richest person in Mecca. He died for the sake of Islam, and they have nothing to cover him with, to shroud him with. Poor person. And he didn't think about any of this. He didn't think about money or the dunya or the joyful things, the joyful matters, the worldly affairs, only the deen, only the deen. If I die poor, I will get the richest things, the best things, the treasures of Jannah. So I'll get it there. من شرب الخمر في الدنيا لم يشربها في الآخرة ومن لبس الحرير في الدنيا لم يلبسه في الآخرة. So whoever drinks alcohol, is drinking alcohol, he loves it, and he's drunkard, So he drinks it in dunya, he's not going to get it there in Jannah. He's not going to get the alcohol or khamru al-Jannah. So he's going to be deprived from the pleasures of Allah Azza wa Jal, and he will go to hellfire. And whoever knows that Allah prohibited the men to wear silk, and he wears it, so he's going to be deprived from the pleasure of Jannah as well. He's going, against the Sharia. He opposes Sharia commands and orders and everything. Mus'ab ibn Umair is unlike all of this. ولذلك جعله النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام سفيرا للإسلام. Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام appointed Mus'ab to be the ambassador of Islam. The first one to go and make da'wah was Mus'ab ibn Umair out of Medina. Out of Mecca. When he left Mecca and he went to Medina, when the 12 people, we call them اللي هي بيعة العقبة الأولى, the pledge of the first pledge at the place of Aqaba, when Prophet ﷺ met with 12 people of Al-Ansar, the helpers, people of Medina. One of them was Ubadah ibn al-Samit. فماذا حدث؟ أرسل معهم النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام مصعب بن عمير يعلمهم الدين. The Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام sent with them Mus'ab ibn Umair to teach them the deen. So it's a great responsibility. You became a Muslim, so you're not gonna be left for yourself. If we have new Muslims, when we have new Muslims, we shouldn't leave them by themselves and they just go study, search, make your own research and read, make your own reading and so on. No, we have to teach them. We have to find someone to teach them, and not normal person who's going to make da'wah, a scholar, a person who's graduated from the something that he studied, Islam. If I don't study Islam, if I don't know Islam, how do I make da'wah? That's why Prophet ﷺ chose Mus'ab ibn Umair, because Mus'ab believed with the Prophet ﷺ from an early time of Islam, the early of Islam, and he's learning from the Prophet ﷺ every day. So for years he's learning from the Prophet. Now, ya Mus'ab, you're ready to go to make da'wah because you have the knowledge. So having the knowledge and going there with them to teach them. يقول البراء بن عازب رضي الله عنه: أول من قدم علينا من صحابة رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم مصعب بن عمير وعبد الله بن أم مكتوم. يقول وكان يقرئان الناس القرآن. So the first people to come, and then Ammar ibn Yasir, first people to come, Mus'ab ibn Umair, to come to Medina, Mus'ab ibn Umair and Abdullah ibn Maktoum. And then after them, Ammar ibn Yasir, and then Umar ibn Khattab came in 20 of the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet. Then Messenger ﷺ, he came, and that was the happiest moment when Messenger ﷺ arrived Medina. يقول البراء بن عازب كان يقرآن الناس القرآن. They learned some chapters from the Prophet ﷺ. The chapters were revealed in Mecca. They took these chapters, they memorized. These chapters were in their hearts. It is very valuable. Quran is the most valuable thing. So I'm not going to leave it. I'm not going to say, okay, after so and so years, I will start reading the Quran. After finishing my college, I'll start reading the Quran. You know, the shuyukh in the masajid, and they make the circles and they sit with us. Okay, inshallah, I'll come tomorrow, Sheikh. It's not necessary. I'll make it just once a week. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. If you don't make it today, you know, you don't know if you live for tomorrow and make it or not. If you don't make it today, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's a great opportunity and chance to learn Islam, to read the Quran, to memorize it, to understand it today before tomorrow. You know, because it's the guidance and al-shifa, al-hidayah, wal-shifa, wal-rahmah, the recovery and the treatment, the cure, the mercy of Allah, the guidance of Allah, all of that is in the package of the Quran. That's why Mus'ab ibn Umair, he left Mecca with the chapters of the Quran that he learned from the Prophet ﷺ and the other things. And then he started to teach them Quran. Yalla, let's read the Quran. Let's sit together and read the Quran. We need just to read the Quran and let people hear the Quran. At their times, they didn't need to explain the Quran because it has their mother tongue. So I don't have a brother from Uzbekistan, brother from Afghanistan, brother from Ethiopia, brother from Somalia, brother from Europe, this and that. Now they have one language, which is the language of the Quran. It was easy. Just read it, they feel the mercy because it is their language. Today, I can't say, okay, I'll read the Quran and the brothers, they will be, ya mashallah, affected. Yeah, they will love the voice sometimes and they will love the reading. Sheikh, you're doing a great job in the read, mashallah. So, Akhi, do you understand? He doesn't know. So what do we need? We need also, after reading, to explain Al-Quran, to read this Quran with the commentary of the Quran, to have some reflections of the Quran. Alhamdulillah, every Fajr, we alternate between the reflections of Quran and Al-Adab al-Mufrad every day, except Monday and Friday. We have reflections on the Quran and this and that. We do our best. So it could be just the only tool you can use it, Al-Quran. Do you know that Prophet ﷺ used to go on al-mimbar and give khutbah only with Quran? Only with Quran. تقول المرأة حفظت قاف من فم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم على المنبر. I memorized Surah Qaf because Prophet ﷺ used to read it on al-mimbar, all of it. And not one time, he used to do that several times. So she memorized, the woman, she memorized Surah Al-Quran, because Surah Qaf, because Prophet ﷺ used to read it on al-mimbar. So we need Quran to deliver Al-Quran. It's not hard. It's so easy just to deliver it and deliver its meaning to people who don't know the meaning of Al-Quran. When you memorize, try to know the meaning. Try to divide the portions, Surah Nuh right now. So you can divide Surah Nuh into 3 parties, and then you know the meanings of this. That will be something like a great methodology in your life that you follow Prophet Nuh's step in Surah Nuh. Amazing. Surah Nuh changed your life. When you see what Prophet Nuh did with his people and how was he patient and reminding them, making da'wah, all of that. So that's in Surah Nuh. You read Surah Al-Asr, يقول الشافعي لو ما أنزل الله على خلقه إلا سورة العصر حجة عليهم لكفتهم. If the only chapter to be revealed in the Quran was Surah Al-Asr, that would be enough evidence for them to follow the truth. Includes the whole Islam. Surah Al-Asr, 3 verses. وَالْعَصْرِ, by time. إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ. Humankind are in loss. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, except for those who believed. وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, and did the righteous deeds. Believing, عَمَلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, the righteous deeds, doing the righteous deeds. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ, encouraging one another with the truth. وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ, encouraging one another with patience. That's the whole religion. Whole religion is based on these 4 things. Believing, doing the righteous deed, applying the religion, and spreading the message. So you tell people about the religion, about the truth, and then you become patient with every phase that you make it. That's only in Surah Al-Asr. Allahu Akbar. Yes. ولهذا قال النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام بلغوا عني ولو آية. Deliver my message. Even if you memorize 1 ayah, just deliver it. Let people know its meaning. It could change their lives. هذا مصعب ibn Umair رضي الله عنه. نتعلم منه الصدق, ونتعلم منه العلم, ونتعلم منه التضحية. We'll learn from him sacrifice. We'll learn from him the patience. We learn from him knowledge, that he was knowledgeable. That's why he was chosen by Prophet عليه الصلاة والسلام. ثم هو ذكي فطن. He's a smart. He chooses people who's talking to them while he's making da'wah. Not everyone he's going to talk to, but he talks with people, with unique people, because he knows their impact on the community. If they become Muslim, so all people behind them, they will become Muslim. So he talked to Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, Sayyid al-Aws, the master and the chief of the tribe Al-Aws. 2 main chiefs in Medina, Al-Aws and Al-Khazraj. They were fighting one another. When Islam came, they became brothers. They became brothers because of Islam. And Sa'd ibn Mu'az is the head of Al-Aws. So I will talk to Sa'd ibn Mu'az. Usayd ibn Hudayr, the 2 chiefs of Al-Aws. They come to him, what are you doing here? It's long story short. الإمام ابن إسحاق ذكر في المغازي, that Imam Ibn Ishaq, he mentioned this story in his book of Al-Maghazi and Al-Sirah. So they came, what are you doing here? And they abused them and insulted him and so on. وقفوا عليه يشتمون. فقال له أسعد بن زرارة, and he's one of the 12 people who believed in the Prophet ﷺ in Mecca and came back to Medina. He said to him, this Usayd ibn Hudayr is the master of his people, of his tribe. If he believes, the people will follow him. In تصدق الله أصدق الله فيه. Have the sincerity and the truthfulness when you talk to him, so Allah expands his chest. You know what? Do you know what he did? قال الراوي فعرض عليه الإسلام وقرأ عليه القرآن. He offered him Islam. Islam is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is Islam. And then listen to this. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. He read some verses of the Quran. That changed the life of the man. He knows what is that. He says, what is that? How can I enter this religion? They said to him, you need to just wash, make wudu, and then you pray 2 rak'ah, you purify your clothes, because they used to have alcohol in it and all of this, and you become Muslim. Usayd ibn Hudayr, he goes back to Sa'd ibn Mu'az. He says, Wallahi laqad ja'a ilayna bighayri al-wajhi alladhi dhahaba bih. He came with a different face. We sent him to abuse those people and fired them out of this place, and then he becomes different. So he said to him, you need to go, your cousin, who's As'ad ibn Zurara, is over there and people want to attack. But he was trying to tell him, go and listen to them. Sa'd ibn Mu'az, he went with his spear, with his harba, and he went to defend his cousin, and then they found the 2 guys, As'ad ibn Zurara, Mus'ab ibn Umair, safe. يعني جالسين مطمئنين. فعرف أن أسيد بن حضير يريد منه أن يسمع عن هذا الدين. So he knew that it was a trick. And Usayd ibn Hudayr, he did it just to let him go and listen, what is this religion? And then after abusing them and insulting them and so on, he said to him, can you just sit and listen? If you dislike, you can leave it. قال فعرض عليه الإسلام وقرأ القرآن. Mus'ab ibn Umair, what did he do? He offered Islam is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he read some verses of the Quran, and that's it. Sa'd ibn Mu'az became Muslim, the top leader of Al-Aws. Do you know what happened? Sa'd ibn Mu'az went back to his people. He said to them, إِنَّ كَلَامَ رِجَالِكُمْ وَنِسَائِكُمْ وَأَوْلَادِكُمْ حَرَامٌ عَلَيَّ إِلَّا إِذَا دَخَلْتُمْ فِي هَذَا الدِّينِ. I will never speak to the men of you, the women of you, the kids of you, any one of you in the tribe, unless you become Muslim. If you become Muslim, I still your chief, I'm still your leader, and all of the tribe, they became Muslims. Who's the beginning? Mus'ab ibn Umair. Mus'ab ibn Umair. رجل بأمة. A man equal to ummah. A man equal to ummah. This is, part of the life of this great man, Mus'ab ibn Umair. We need to have a lot of Mus'ab ibn Umair, a lot of ambassadors of Islam, a lot of people to be sincere when they make da'wah, when they read Islam, when they practice Islam, to sacrifice for the sake of this religion, to be knowledgeable, so that when they deliver Islam, when they deliver da'wah, they deliver it with knowledge. To be truthful, so they do it from their hearts. They don't do it just for dunya and for salaries and having a lot of money and collecting money. No, they don't do it for this sake. They do it for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, so they become patient with whatever they see of difficulties and hardships. نسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى أن يغفر لنا وأن يرحمنا وأن يهدينا سبلنا. اللهم هيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. اللهم هيئ لنا من أمرنا رشدا. اللهم أصلحنا وأصلح قلوبنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم ردنا إلى دينك مردا جميلا. اللهم خذ بنواصينا إليك أخذ الكرام عليك. اللهم إنا نسألك صدق التوكل عليك وحسن الظن بك. اللهم انصرنا ولا تنصر علينا واهدنا ويسر الهدى لنا. اللهم اجعلنا لك ذكارين لك شكارين لك رهابين لك مطواعين إليك أوابين مخبتين. اللهم تقبل توبتنا واغسل حوبتنا وأجب دعوتنا وثبت حجتنا وسدد ألسنتنا واهد قلوبنا واسلل سخيمة صدورنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم أنجي إخواننا المستضعفين في فلسطين. اللهم أنجي إخواننا المستضعفين في غزة يا رب العالمين. اللهم احقن دماء المسلمين في السودان وفي كل مكان، وأنجي المسلمين المستضعفين في كل مكان. وعليك بأعداء الإسلام. اللهم عليك بهؤلاء الأعداء الذين يقتلون إخواننا وأخواتنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم عليك بهم فإنهم لا يعجزونك. اللهم اكفنا شر كل ذي شر أنت آخذ بناصيته. وصل اللهم بارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. وجزاكم الله خيرا وبارك الله فيكم. الحمد لله رب العالمين.